And we're back. Thank you guys for coming back and joining me again. And yeah, now we're going to get into some really interesting stuff. What I'm going to ask our guest is if they have something they can show us. We're going to go back to grade school for a minute and do a little show and tell. If you guys would show us one or two things that you have made and maybe walk us through the process of how you created it. That would be really cool. Cher, would you want to go first?
Sure. I have a puppet. I actually made this puppet as a commission for a really good friend of mine. She asked if I could do this for her. But, oh, sorry, cats. But if you've seen the movie Dark Crystal, yes,
I love it.
Is a replica of Bizgig.
Hey.
Oh,
So cool.
I made this puppet for a friend of mine at her request. And it's made of foam, as many puppets are, like similar to upholstery foam. It's got the teeth are made out of EVA foam, which is a hard type of foam that a lot of costume and prop builders work with. Of course, my favorite, felt. There's a lot of felt in there. And then all of the fur. And even his little feet. Let me see if I can get this in here. Even his little feet.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, will move. And his claws are made out of felt as well. It's felt that's been coated in like wood glue on those. So it makes them look hard, but the color is great. It fits felt. It's easy to cut. It's easy to sew. And then his little feet, you can kind of see his little feet there, are made of a suede that's got an armature wire in it that bends. It makes it very easy to bend and move around. So that's I put that in there with his little hands and then wrapped it with thread to give it that cute little segmented look. So that's one project that I've recently done, Bizgig. And I'm actually making one for myself. I was really happy with the way this little guy turned out. So I'm going to make one for myself after I give this one to my friend that commissioned it for me.
Oh, that's great. I love it.
Thanks.
You mentioned the teeth. They're made out of some type of foam. What type
They
of foam?
are. They're made out of EVA foam that was cut into the shape that they needed to be. And then it was coated too. There's a great product that a lot of prop builders use called Smooth On. It's made by a company called Reynolds. They're right here in Charlotte. And you can put it on foam. It helps coat the foam to protect it. Because a lot of times you may have known when you try to paint EVA foam or foam like this, craft foam, that's what EVA foam is made of. It comprises. It will fall off. Paint won't stick to it very well. So the Smooth On helps give it a great coat that allows you to paint it and also makes it a little more sturdy. That's just cut out of white EVA, white craft foam. His little tongue there is suede as well. And his mouth plate is felt. It's covered with felt. And then he's got mechanisms inside. It's to help do my hands in there controlling his mouth. And then he does that.
What type of mechanisms do you use?
There's not a whole lot of mechanism in this. This is a very simple, what they call a hand puppet, a moving mouth puppet. And the plate is made of 2 sheets of foam core, the mouth plates, that are hinged with adhesive and fabric. And that's what makes it able to move like that. And then there's some elastic and other catches in there that you can put your hand in, that hold your hand while you're moving the puppet. And one thing, this is one of the first things I learned when I worked with Henson, is, puppet, when you're doing a puppet, when you're talking, your whole head doesn't move, just your mouth. So you have to learn how to do just the jaw while moving the top of the head as little as possible. And that's what helps give the realism to the talk or the noise that they're making. So there's the mechanism inside with the elastic to hold the hand, and that helps. You just want to try to move the bottom jaw with moving the head top as little as possible. And then his little hands, his little feet, like I said, are twos with his feet attached, and I can put my fingers in there. I'm a big fan of low tech. I really am. We've got some amazing advances in technology that allow the animatronic puppets, and those are beautiful. But I think it was Scotty on Star Trek that said, the more you make things advanced, the easier it is to gum up the works. And so
true.
The easier it is to operate. So I'm a huge, huge fan of low tech.
Awesome. Awesome. Kelly, did you bring something to show and tell?
Most of my stuff's in a warehouse in Virginia, but
Well, I might be able to pull up that picture and screen share it if you want to talk about the boy.
that'd be good. Yeah.
Okay. Y'all go ahead and chit chat amongst yourselves. Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
That's a little kid that was plasticized supposedly after he died, and wasn't one of my favorite projects because he scared the heck out of me all the time. Because I had him sitting, I was working on Walking Dead, but had him sitting in my little room all the time. I don't know if you can pull that up, but
Yeah, I'm going to try. You guys go ahead and talk, and I'll see if I can find it and get it pulled up here.
the first version, I can't show the second one because he hasn't played in the movie yet, but he's about to. And it's a movie that they act like he's a real kid that's still alive upstairs. The father has plasticized him, and you never find out to the end that he's actually been dead for a long time. Pretty.
Was that a sculpt, Kelly? Did you sculpt that?
I did. The body I cast in latex. He has a pretty good body there, and his hands work. He has an armature. The head, I used a skull. I bought a child-size skull, plastic, and sculpted over it, and used glass eyes, and that's why the teeth are, because they're from the skull. And went to a wig store and bought some stuff and glued it on there, but he wasn't creepy enough, if you can believe that, for the director. So,
Okay, well, I think I've got it pulled up here. Let me do a screen share, and so you guys can get maybe a closer look. Let's take a look.
oh, he looks just like me. Oh, there he is.
Wow. That wasn't creepy enough?
Yeah,
No,
That is creepy.
that's very creepy.
I'm living with him for a month. That was bad.
Oh,
Oh my
no.
gosh.
Because I'd be walking by, all the time. He was in the hallway towards the bathrooms. Yeah, he was pretty creepy.
Oh, man.
What is his teeth made out of?
What's what?
What are his teeth made out of?
They're teeth from a skull. I mean, I have a skull in there. So I
Oh,
put it around the skull
nice.
and put some eyeballs in. But yeah, he's got a regular, you see his fingers, and he's got feet and the whole bit. So I didn't know what they wanted to do with them really. But well, I'm not, I bet I can show this. I just won't. I think I have a picture of the final thing that the director is holding in his lap. And oh yeah, they loved that creepy kid. He wanted the hair darker and shorter. Whoops, and I don't know if you can see him.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway,
Wow.
and he did look a little creepier. I smoothed his skin out a little bit. And
Okay, well that's some very cool stuff, and maybe we can even do another podcast later on and get you guys on here individually and have you actually build something for us. Let us see you build something. That would be cool.
That would be
Um,
so cool. I used to watch that show Face Off.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, me too.
Yeah.
I used to love watching that. It's just amazing what all
I
of
went to,
these artists can do. I
I
mean,
went to school with one of the contestants on there. That yeah, I love that show.
Cool.
Very see. Do you have any tips you would like to offer to someone who wants to break into the field that you are in? How would someone go about, let's say that they've taken art classes, or let's say they're just naturally creative and they're really good at a particular medium or what have you, and they're really wanting to break into the TV, theater, movie industries. what would be their first steps? How would they go about building their resume, and who would they contact? What would they need to look for in order to start to break into? I know people, you ask that question and you get typical answers. Well, just don't ever give up and do this. But can you give us specifics? Like if somebody is really wanting to try to get into there, who would they contact? Where would they look for jobs? So forth.
Well, and I can offer some advice in that respect. It actually does depend on where you are. I know Kelly is a member. I'm not a union member. And the reason I say that is North Carolina, for instance, is a right to work state. You don't have to necessarily have to be a union member to work on a job. And of course, they will go to the union members first. But there's not a union for what I do in North Carolina. There's not a puppet builders union. So that's one of the reasons I haven't joined. But I can say that the union is a great place to find work. They help their members get jobs. When a production comes through, they say, hey, here's a production. These are the people they need. Here's where you contact and send your resume. But also, many states, North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia, Georgia, Maryland, they have film offices. And you can find their film offices and many times create a profile of your own where you can put your things out there. Here's my resume, here's my work. If you're looking for say a set dresser, here's how to contact me. And many times too, those film offices will put out a call saying, here's a production coming in, and here's the people they need, here's who you contact. So my first recommendation would be find out if there's a film office in your area and connect with them. You make contacts there. And that's a great way to find out if productions are coming in and find a way to get in and get some work.
Would maybe trying to get in even as an extra, just playing an extra on a part or a movie or a TV series, or even a short or small role in these little indie films? I know West Virginia is just all of a sudden, it just seems like it's booming with indie movie makers, and it's so exciting. And in fact, I think I have a couple coming on in an upcoming podcast, some Appalachian indie directors. So that'll be pretty cool. Stay tuned. But would it help if they could at least get their foot in the door as to working in theater or playing an extra, or I know that would help with the acting, but I know that you guys are both actors as well. You guys have both played, parts on the screen as well. So does being an actor also help trying to break into the prop business? I mean, does it give you more contacts? Does it make your resume look a little better because you're more familiar with film and direction? And do you think that helps?
That helps. I don't know how many times I've had people come up, well, I've taken film school, but they don't know anything. It doesn't help you that much. I hate to say it, but they really don't. For the practical getting in, a lot of it is luck. But like Cher said, it depends on where you are a lot of times. And production companies, every time you do a movie or TV show or something, they have a little production company. They may be for Netflix or whatever, but they have a little production company that is actually the ones doing this. And they kind of have rules on how many assistants you can have and what they can afford, and do they have to be local and all that kind of stuff. I go through that fight all the time because I'm trying to get my crew together. I feel more comfortable with those guys, and I'll get a couple local people. And but I worked on Walking Dead. I got 5 or 6 locals. A couple of them had worked as on it before, but I got some people, new people too, and now they're prop people. That's what they do, But getting that opportunity, like I said, I just happened to be a historian basically, and some prop guy saw it and said, hey, you could do this, and that's how I got in. But it's just pretty haphazard, really, but it helps to be around the thing. So even as an extra or whatever, you can learn set etiquette and talk to people. it helps to talk to people because you never know what somebody needs or wants or whatever, you know. And you just don't want to. I mean, I've had so many stand-ins and extras that, you know, kind of push it so much that you're kind of, yeah, get lost, you know, kind of a deal. And I mean, it's terrible, but you know, you get it all the time. So it's hard to, you know, but I've seen guys, one stand-in became an actor on Turn. He played Alexander Hamilton. And all he did was, you know, stand in front of a camera while they did lighting. But he made a little video of him, and he looked kind of like Hamilton and all that stuff. And he ended up playing Hamilton the last 2 seasons. And we were really
Nice.
proud of that guy. You know, he was a go-getter. He did it. He was a good actor. And you know, but normally, you know, they all, oh yes, I, you know, did this and that. And you're just kind of going, yeah, okay. So
I
it's,
guess the bottom line point is, you know, if you want to do it, put yourself out there and make friends and get as close to the business as you can. And
sometimes they'll just
if you
go,
get your foot in the door, then maybe you can work into the actual desired department that you want to be in, whether it be acting or set dressing or prop making or
yeah, you can even get into a camera if, you know, you just are a runner for them, a PA. That's how most people start. A lot of times, unfortunately, PAs don't get paid, but a lot of times they do. And that's how they learn. You know, you learn, again, you learn the etiquette, and you work for the camera department or you work for props or whatever. You know, my PAs usually handle chairs a lot because that's one thing that all prop people hate is chairs. Why we do the chairs, I don't know. In Toronto, they do, Locations does the chairs. You know, but you get to a set, you got 500 extras, you got all this stuff going on, and some producer comes up, where's my chair? Where's my chair? I gotta have my chair immediately. You know, like, come on, buddy. You know, pull up a Apple box and sit down. So it's really annoying. It really is. It's not fair. But I guess some prop guy back in the Stone Age invented the director's chair or something. So
so do you hear that, producers? All producers out there, hire your own personal assistant to carry your chair.
believe it
Yes.
or not, it's happened.
Leave the real movie work up to the prop people.
See, we couldn't get the director's chair there fast enough, you know. So he actually had a PA that did nothing but handle his chair. And the next day, they had this big parade scene, and you know, thousands of extras and everything. His chair is right in the center of the shot because his little buddy didn't move it. So that was, you know, we never had that problem. But, yeah, and chairs are the bane of a prop man.
You guys, all right, I'm going to share.
Oh,
I'm going to share something. I'm not a special effects artist. I've always wanted to be a special effects artist. I've always wanted to make props. I envy you all so much. You all have the job I've always dreamed of having. So I've always dabbled in special effects makeups on my kids, and my grandmother's fussed at me for dressing my daughters up as a headless queen and Medusa and a zombie queen. And anyway, so I've gotten fussed at for it, but I've always dabbled in like arts and craftsy kind of stuff. So I've been playing around with some stuff too. And I've made a hand. I don't know if you can see it. It's made out of plaster. And I actually, typically I would wrap it with the gauze and let it set up and pull the hand out and then just smooth the plaster over it. This one, I decided I wanted it to be an actual, wanted to actually be able to hold a book. So I filled it with plaster. So this one's actually a book stand, which I thought might be cool to take on one of my book signings.
Yeah.
I have the hand on my table holding up one of my books. And then
I like
I
that.
did make my own mold. I did make my own mold out of a water bottle and a bowl. and made a little mushroom. We're gonna make a little mushroom house out of it.
That's awesome.
Now you need to make little Smurfs.
Yeah, yes. Yes.
And knowing me though, I would end up using the foam teeth like Cher was showing and shove them up in there and have blood dripping.
First time I
Mushroom
met
people, beware.
she had
Zombie Smurfs.
Right.
a little portfolio she showed me the first time I met her of her poor children. Said when I first met you, you were showing me all your makeup effects and all that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. I love special effects. Like I said, I really envy you guys. You all are doing the work I've always dreamed of doing. And back in my day when we were teenagers, all the girls had all the heartthrobs, pictures all the way around their walls, out of the magazines, Tom Cruise, Rob Lowe, all the older stars back in the day. And yeah, not me. You walked into my bedroom and I had like Freddy Krueger and Michael Myers and Jason Voorhees.
Nice. Oh, that's awesome.
So I do admire your all work more than you all realize.
Yes,
And
I admire
always been
it
a
greatly
huge,
too.
yeah, and always been a huge puppet fan. Like I said, I've got my own ventriloquist doll that I've actually searched for years to find, and thank goodness I found him. But always been a huge fan of Kermit. You had a picture of Kermit. Love Kermit. But my all-time favorite Muppet movie would have to be Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas.
Oh, yes. Yes.
I love that.
I remember watching that as a kid with my mom, and I made my kids sit in there at Christmas and watch it with me. So it's kind of an old time family tradition, and I love the music in it. Yeah.
Yeah, that is a good one.
So, okay. Does anybody have anything to add before I ask, what are you doing now? Renee, do you have any other questions for them before I ask them their final question for the night?
Nope, I've used up all my questions.
Okay. Okay. So, I guess for the last question of the night, if you would tell us what you are working on now or what you are going to be working on soon, and promote yourself. Tell everybody where we can find you, and if by some crazy chance some rich wealthy producer finds this podcast and wants to hire you, how can they get in touch with you?
That what you just said actually made me think of something to ask, if you don't mind.
Okay, go right ahead.
Do either of you have a dream project to work on, like a dream show or movie, or maybe something that's not even in production or being made? Like, do you have a dream project to work on?
That's a good one. Well, I'd always wanted to work for the Muppets and did. That was definitely a dream come true. And one of my other dreams is I've always wanted to work on one of the Star Wars movies or TV shows. I totally want to do that. Now, I will say, and this actually goes along with what we have coming up next, I am going to be at Star Wars Celebration London in the middle of April, working on the crew there, but I am also leading a puppet workshop for the kids track there. And it's been amazing talking with the folks at Lucasfilm, getting my puppet approved, getting, information from them on how I need to set it up and do this. And so that has been a great experience. And I am excited to be leading a puppet workshop for the kids there at Star Wars Celebration. So that's my next big project. And also my dream job, hopefully one day, maybe working on one of the movies or TV shows.
Maybe that will lead to it, right?
I would love that if it would. Absolutely. Because, again, Star Wars was what inspired me to go into this field, into this career. And so, it'd certainly be a great turnaround to be able to actually work on a Star Wars project. So I always keep my fingers crossed, maybe one day.
It happened.
Yeah, and I have seen pictures of you dressed as Princess Leia. You make a good Princess Leia, girl.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm gonna take my costume too. I don't know if I'll have a chance to actually wear it because I am gonna be working, but that's something cosplay is something I really enjoy too, just for fun.
Awesome.
Have you been to
Kelly?
Lucasfilm or Skywalker Ranch? I mean,
Your dream job.
I-
What's your dream job, Kelly?
oh, my dream job, a Viking movie. I think because of my family heritage that I've found recently, and I have all the Viking stuff, so I should do it. Anyway,
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, that would be cool. So what did you find out about your family heritage? I'm curious.
well, let's see. Ragnar Lothbrok is my 37th great grandfather. Rollo, who started Normandy, is my 38th grandpa. Harold Bluetooth, that Bluetooth is named after. He was my 34th great grandfather. And I got a lot of, anyway, I've got like 40 Viking kings in my past. So
Wow,
Nice.
that's impressive. Oh my gosh.
back to 150 AD, and that's the furthest I could get back. So
That's crazy cool.
yeah. So
Yeah.
anyway, I want to do something like that. And but next I'm doing in Oklahoma, I'm doing a show called Sarah's Oil, and it's about, this is a true story. She's 11 years old, and she's given land allotment by the government. Pretty cool. Anyway,
That's exciting.
so
That
it's
is.
1913. That's when it happened. And then after that, I'm doing Sacagawea, which is the Lewis and Clark expedition, but it's about
Nice.
native, helps guide them, and
Mhm.
it's just about her.
Oh, that's
So,
great.
yeah, that one's going to be a good one.
Mm.
Okay, so now I'm even more envious of you guys because not only have you had amazing careers, but you've got some amazing cool stuff coming up. It's
Yeah.
so cool. Well, I'm so excited for you guys. Be sure you send us pictures of all the cool stuff that you're doing and keep us all updated on all your new adventures. We want to share them with you. I want to live vicariously through you all.
Exactly. Yes, me too.
Do that.
This is always fun. I mean, chatting with you guys. I always have a great time talking and catching up. So this has definitely been a lot of fun.
I'm so grateful that both of you guys have agreed to come on, and I'm grateful for my co-host Renee, and appreciate all of your time and energies. And before we leave, I'm going to ask Renee to promote herself one more time and show us maybe her books, or give us more information on her band or where we can find her.
Well, yeah, I'm Renee DeCamillis. I'm a horror author and editor. I'm the author of the psychological thriller horror novella, The Bone Cutters. I also have a bunch of short stories out there. The most recent one was in a post-apocalyptic anthology called After the Burn. I have another short story coming out soon in an anthology called Horrors of the Deep. But my creepy story takes place on a yacht. Yes, a lot of horror takes
Nice.
place on a yacht. And yeah, I'm the lead singer and songwriter and rhythm guitarist to a hard rock metal / punk rock band called Scars Aligned. You can find me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I'm not very active on Twitter. I try to have a little bit of a presence on there, but I'm kind of a ghost on there. Nobody sees me. So I stick to where they see me. But yeah, and I'm currently editing for the indie horror publisher of Wicked House Publishing.
Cool.
Awesome. Very nice. Very nice. And Cher and Kelly, did you all want to share your information where people can find you?
Well, they can look on IMDb. I've got a internet movie database. I've got a thing on there. Tells my whole resume pretty much. And it's always, they like that because it's been confirmed. Everything's confirmed. I can't lie about anything. So,
Right.
which is too bad because
And if you missed it, you can basically see his entire resume in the promo for this podcast on my social media.
oh well, okay.
And Cher, be sure and tell everybody how we can all find you.
Absolutely. I also have an IMDb page. You can find me there. I have a website, CheralynLambeth.com. I'm on Etsy as Cheryl Industries, and on Facebook as Cheralyn Lambeth, and Instagram as Cheryl Lambeth. So yeah, I too am trying to keep a presence on social media and figure out which ones work the best. So yeah, you can find me there.
Right, and you do have a store on Etsy. There, people can purchase some of your creatures that you make.
Absolutely, yeah. I just recently got the Guinness World Record for the largest collection of finger puppets. Yep. And so you can buy some of my finger puppets on my Etsy shop at Cheryl Industries.
Yay.
Oh, very cool. Okay, well, as we say goodnight, just a reminder, I'm your host, London Blue, and I am also a horror author, and I've also been writing dark middle grade fiction, as well as some dabbling in children's book. I also write poetry. I've been in multiple anthologies, from A Sea of Treasures, so I don't know, Something for Tomorrow, Crimson Pinnacle Press, Dead Heat, and another one from Crimson, The Witches. They have a witches book that I've got a story in. And I've got a story coming out in a new surprise book, which can't be divulged quite yet. So there's a short in that as well. I've written Max Mayhem Maladies, which is stories that take place during a pandemic. The Last Call, 7 strangers end up in a bar having to answer for their sins. And my latest is the Tabar. There we go. Kelly. And actually, this is the only one that I pulled out to show. Yeah, a Flash Encrypted Tale. Look at you, show it all. There we go.
Yeah, you'd think I was a fan or something.
Whoa, fan. That's awesome.
I've got.
One thing that's cool about the Tabar is the creature on the front. Mr. Kelly Farrah drew him for me. So yeah, that was kind of cool. Yeah. Anywho, you can find me on all social media under WV London Blue. And we are working on trying to build a new website for artists in all fields. And yeah, I'm struggling with it right now. So if there's any HTML coders out there, shoot me a message. I would appreciate it. Anywho, that's artisticallyhuman.com. And again, you can find me on all social media under WV London Blue. I want to thank my guest and my co-host, Renee. Thank you guys so much for spending the evening with me once again. I appreciate you guys so much and hope to have you on again on another time.
Thank you. This was
Good
fun.
night, everybody.
Oh,
Love you.
Good night.
I always like to talk about myself. So there you go. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, geez. Now I got to go away. Oh.